English shorthand 80 words per minute. Passage number 38. Get ready. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Start. Honorable Chairman, Sir, I rise to join all honorable members of this august House in conveying our sincere thanks to the Honorable President for her enlightened address. The debate on the President's address has been very wide-ranging. I thank all the honorable members from all sides who have contributed to this debate. Mr. Chairman, speaking on behalf of the NDA, my honorable friend mentioned that the President's address does not lay out a roadmap. I do not agree with this finding of my friend, since the presentation of the budget for the year 2012-13, the Finance Minister has elaborated in his budget speech on further challenges that our economy faces. The economic survey that has been presented to both the Houses of Parliament also deals with these issues, and therefore I will be very brief when it comes to dealing with the state of economy. The President in paragraph 9 mentions the year 2012-13 will mark the first year of the 12th five-year plan that sets the goal of faster, sustainable and more inclusive growth. The approach paper sets the target growth rate of 9% for the 12th plan period, with 4% growth for the agricultural sector. The President's address highlights the working of the existing programs as well as some new initiatives that our government proposes to take to bring about faster, sustainable and more inclusive growth. Sir, at the outset, I would like to mention that honorable members will recognize that all the economies of the world are today in the midst of very uncertain times. The industrialized countries, in the wake of the financial crisis of 2008-9, have registered only a fragile recovery. In the year 2011, the growth rate of the industrialized countries was half the level that was achieved in 2010-11, and we are all affected by this disturbing economic environment that faces us. One consequence of this is that there has been too much of liquidity in the world economy. It has put pressure on commodity prices of food grains. The prices of petroleum products and fertilizers in particular have gone up very high, and therefore there has been a severe pressure on our balance of payments. These are the circumstances in which our economy has to chart out a path. Sir, I would be the last one to say that we do not face difficulties. We do face difficulties, and it is my honest assessment that the difficulties that we face are the balance of payments deficit on current account, which is now as high as 3.6%. The deficit on fiscal balance account of 5% is something that we cannot tolerate year after year. Therefore, I appeal to all the members of this august house to recognize the pitfalls, the dangers that lie ahead if we do not rise to the occasion and help the government to undertake remedial measures in time. Mr. Chairman, Sir, in this uncertain environment, our own economic performance of about 7% growth, though slower than what we had hoped, must be regarded as commendable. Of course, we cannot view this as an acceptable outcome. We must strive to improve upon this in the next year, and we turn as quickly as possible to a higher growth path. We must do this while also ensuring that we make progress towards our objective of achieving the inclusive growth with reasonable price stability. For this, we need a broad-based national consensus covering all sections of political opinion represented in our parliament. This is an occasion when we must eschew narrow partisan and stand united as a cohesive nation. Mr. Chairman, Sir, we grew at 9% for the 5 years before 2008, and I do believe that we can get back to that kind of growth rate provided we agree on a number of difficult decisions. If we succeed in that objective, we will ensure that India continues its rise as an economic power with the economic capability of reducing the age-old poverty from which we have suffered, and filled in the gaps which are all too evident in critical areas such as health, education and skill development, provision of clean drinking water and sanitation. Mr. Chairman, Sir, we need to focus in particular on the developmental gaps affecting the weaker sections of our population, such as the scheduled castes, the scheduled tribes, the OBCs, the minorities and other disadvantaged groups. I would like to assure the honorable members that we will rise to the occasion. The 12th 5-year plan, which we presented to the NDC sometime in the middle of the year will lay out a credible plan of action for faster, sustainable and more inclusive growth. I therefore do not propose to deal with the economic scene in greater detail. The Minister of Finance has touched upon that issue there in his budget speech. Stop.